talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Moving and Motivating Radio.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Wade Taylor, and I'm happy to be joined on today's show by Leslie Juvin-Acker. She is the founder and lead at Leslie Inc., which you can find online, appropriately enough, at leslieinc.org. Now, make note that is a .org. So go ahead and open up that browser window. Check that out. You can see all the range of things that Leslie does. And at Leslie Inc., she works with people to improve their attitude, improve their life, improve their mental health to a certain extent. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. And it's all about understanding how you can at least be on a path to improvement. And there's another group of people that are really concerned about this. And those are the managers in the world of business. Because they're dealing with the employee coming in 15 minutes late because their 13-year-old is having a meltdown because somebody at school said something bad to them. Mm-hmm. And you're just trying to get widgets made.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so now they have part of that responsibility. And Leslie, this is something that is just kind of a norm these days, right?
Oh, it absolutely is. I've got a lot of clients globally and here locally in San Diego that are either owning a business or run a business, and they're traveling all over, and they have a family and they have employees that depend on them. And equally, they depend on their employees to show up, be in a good attitude, and do their jobs.
Right, right. And as a business owner, manager, whatever, you've got multiple inputs. You've got your people, you got your machines, right? And you want everyone to be optimally productive.
Yes.
Well, over on the machine, if it's slightly unbalanced, we can turn some screws and get it back to balance.
Yeah.
Well, now we've got this employee that, in their own way, is slightly imbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
And the manager's looking for a way to turn some screws to make them balanced again. But is it not true that managers need to start out with understanding you're not going to be able to make your employee perfect?
Right.
But you can make them a little bit happier, right?
Right. There's a lot of companies out there that focus on productivity and performance, of course, because there's a lot of stakes, there's a lot of investment, tens and millions and billions of dollars go into building a company. There's a lot of stress into that, and we cannot make them show up happy all the time. But instead of maybe doing a ping pong table and soda in the break room, thinking about improving their emotional well-being, doing training, or at least inviting them to take care of their own emotional and mental health.
Yeah, and you just make me laugh because I just always get this picture of the fridge with the sodas and the ping pong table in the break room while all the employees are sitting in the corners sobbing quietly to themselves.
Absolutely. And you know what? I tell you what, I've literally seen that before in a business.
Exactly. So it's got to be a more intelligent approach to not just keeping the workplace environment good, but having some, I would assume, methodologies for understanding and assessing. So how does Leslie Inc. help that manager deal with the day-to-day crises?
Right. So there's a lot of firefighters out there in the business world, right? So, and they're overwhelmed by just putting out the fires, and they're not able to focus on the long-term vision of their companies. Right. And when you get caught up in the mire, you're not able to see that vision, and you're not able to execute thoughtfully on the long term. So what I do is I go in and I'll talk with a business owner or a business unit manager, and I'll say, well, what are the fires that you're putting out, and what is it that you're wanting to achieve? If they're spending more time putting out fires, then it's time to put in a system by talking about their own team. What's weak, who's weak, how can we improve the team attitude and the brand, and therefore improve the culture of that team and the business in and of itself. Because employees know what they're doing. They know how to do a specific job. It's getting them in a state of mind that gets them creative, engaged, and passionate, and really putting their head in the game.
Oh, most definitely. And so much of that, I'm presuming, is driven by culture. Several years back, sadly, I can't remember the gentleman's name, he helped set up the corporate culture at Zappos, right? And wrote a book about it, and so hence the interview. And one of the things that stuck with me that he mentioned is business owners will say, well, I don't have a corporate culture or a company culture. And it's like, no, you do. You're just not in control of it.
Right.
Right? So talk to us a little bit about how that baseline of corporate culture is needed to build everything from, if I'm correct in that.
Yes. Corporate culture is everything, and understanding the beliefs and the attitudes that your team has on a consistent basis affects performance. So if you have a product manager who's creating different types of products, they might feel stuck because a creative person in the team is not delivering products. So looking at that aspect is very important of how the team dynamics are played in that culture. So if you can get everyone engaged and getting their head in the game and collaborating, creating that just that general sense of well-being, anything is possible.
Okay. And now, if it's a smaller business, the owner / president, whatever, chief bottle washer, right, is obviously in charge of doing what they can to build that culture. In a larger organization, who might be wearing those hats, or perhaps who isn't wearing those hats that should be? Call out specifically, say, departments or whatever, that you want to catch their ear and have them recognize, hey, this is part of your job. You need to be paying attention to this.
Well, the two people that we reach out and work with are executives themselves in the C-suite, and we reach out to the human resources. So if the executives in the C-suite are recognizing that maybe one department is not doing very well, we say, well, let's go in and do what we call work-happy workshops and give them some different tips, techniques, and strategies for creating breakthroughs so that way performance can improve. For human resources, we're looking on corporate culture as it is, maybe a performance plan, maybe we're looking at coaching packages for specific employees and creating a more holistic solution to creating a long-term change.
Okay, now we're almost at the end of the interview, so in about a minute, what does that C-suite executive need to understand when the HR person that you've talked to them goes to that C-suite executive and goes, I need your buy-in?
Right. Well, the one thing I always say to people who are managing big budgets is that you're investing tens, thousands, if not millions of dollars into a project or an area of the business. If you don't have the right team and the right attitude, all that money will disappear and you will have nothing to show for it. So think about that investment. Culture is everything when it comes to business investment.
Okay. Now, again, we can learn more about what Leslie's doing at leslieinc.org. How would you like that C-suite executive or that HR manager to initiate a conversation with you once they recognize, oh, my God, I need Leslie's help?
Oh, gosh. Well, it's very simple. Just go onto the website, leslieinc.org, and just schedule a free 15-minute consultation with Anna Gomez. She's our VP of Development, and she's responsible for our Work Happy workshops and retreats. She'll take care of you and guide you every single step of the way.
Well, very cool. And if you go back, you can listen to an earlier interview we did with Leslie about how, on an individual level, this can have impact. And so I want all of you HR people to know Leslie can help make your staff happy campers and take them through that program as well. And so, Leslie, in the last, say, 30 seconds, what do you want that HR person to recognize about how they can have a positive impact, even though they can't make the person perfect?
You can't make the person perfect, but there are resources out there. Turn to them. Find people who are willing to provide training and focus on culture and emotional well-being, and let your people do what they do best. Just get them into that state, and you don't have to do it yourself. There are resources out there.
Yeah, build the environment, let them thrive within it.
Right.
Well, this is great information. Again, we're doing this in recognition in part of Mental Health Month. So we encourage everybody that might be having some challenges in your life, realize there are paths forward. You might not be able to make it perfect, but you might be able to make yourself a little bit happier in the process. Back next time with more great information here on Movin' and Motivatin' Radio, powered by WSRadio.com. We are the worldwide leader in Internet talk.
One person has the power to change the world, impact millions of lives, and leave a legacy for lifetimes to come. That person is you. In the New York Times bestseller, What is Your What? Steve Olsher, award-winning author and founder of the Reinvention Workshop, reveals his proven process that has helped thousands of men and women discover, share, and monetize the one thing they were born to do. Grab your free copy now at www.whatisyourwhat.com/free. That's www.whatisyourwhat.com/free.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children. After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
Securing Our eCity Foundation is a nonprofit organization focused on cybersecurity awareness and education. Formed in 2011, their mission is to enable every San Diegan to live, work, and play safely in the cyber world. For more information, visit securingourecity.org or call 619-630-2444. securingourecity.org, 619-630-2444. securingourecity.org.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children. After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
Hi, I'm Nicole Heffel, an attorney with the Heffel Law Firm, and I'd like to encourage you to join me in honoring our troops. Part of the Heffel Law Firm's mission is to advocate for those returning veterans in need at no cost to them. You can help us with this by allowing us to serve you with your estate planning needs. I'd like to invite you to contact me at heffellaw.com. That's HEFFEL law.com, or call 619-550-3080.